America, it seems, has a fever, not for disco this time, but for panic buying. The phenomenon that gripped the nation during the early days of the pandemic is back, and it's more intense than ever. Supermarkets are once again facing bare shelves. Essential items are disappearing at an alarming rate, leaving many to wonder if they will be able to find what they need. Images of overflowing shopping carts are flooding social media. People are sharing their experiences, some with a sense of urgency, others with a touch of humor, but all with a common thread of concern. Remember the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? It was a time when finding a roll of toilet paper felt like striking gold. The shelves were empty and the panic was palpable. Well, buckle up, because round two has officially begun. The lines are forming once again, and the carts are being filled to the brim as people prepare for the unknown. From coast to coast, Americans are stocking up. It's a scene that's playing out in cities and towns across the country, with people buying in bulk to ensure they have enough to get by. They're driven by fear and uncertainty. The reasons may vary, but the underlying emotion is the same. People are worried about what the future holds, and they're taking action to protect themselves and their families. This time, it's not a pandemic causing the chaos. The shelves are emptying for reasons that are more complex and multifaceted. It's something arguably more complex: economics. Supply chain disruptions, inflation, and global market instability are all contributing to the current situation. Experts are weighing in, trying to make sense of the chaos and offer solutions. The supply chain issues that started during the pandemic have not fully resolved. Cargo ships are still backed up at ports, and the flow of goods is slower than it used to be. Factories are struggling to keep up with demand, and warehouses are finding it difficult to maintain their inventory levels. The ripple effects are being felt in supermarkets across the nation. Inflation is another key factor. Prices are rising and consumers are feeling the pinch. The cost of everyday items is going up, and people are buying more now to avoid paying even higher prices later. Families are planning their shopping trips more carefully, making lists and prioritizing what they need most. The goal is to be prepared for whatever comes next without breaking the bank. Community food banks are also feeling the strain. As more people turn to them for help, they are working tirelessly to meet the increased demand. The media is covering the story extensively, and the public is paying close attention. Everyone is looking for answers and hoping for a resolution. Government officials are stepping in, discussing measures to stabilize the economy and ensure that essential goods remain available. The situation is fluid, and decisions are being made in real time. In the meantime, supermarkets are doing their best to restock their shelves and reassure their customers. The hope is that with time and effort, the panic will subside and normalcy will return. Until then, shoppers are encouraged to stay calm, buy only what they need, and trust that the system will eventually catch up. After all, we've been through this before, and we've come out the other side. The return of panic buying is a reminder of the fragility of our supply chains and the importance of preparedness, but it's also a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the American people. In the end, it's about coming together, supporting one another, and finding ways to navigate these challenging times, because no matter what, we will get through this just as we have before. Remember those early pandemic days, the empty grocery store aisles, the frantic search for hand sanitizer? Well, folks, it's like someone hit rewind on 2020. But instead of hoarding toilet paper this time around, it's electronics, appliances, even clothes flying off the shelves. The fear is the same: scarcity. The trigger is different: tariffs. Just like the pandemic, this situation is a potent cocktail of uncertainty and a get-it-while-you-can mentality. Let's talk tariffs, those pesky little taxes on imported goods. Remember the trade war with China? It never truly went away. And now it's back with a vengeance. The current administration has slapped new tariffs on a boatload of Chinese imports. The result? Prices on everything from smartphones to sneakers are skyrocketing. Consumers, fearing further price hikes, are in a buying frenzy. They're trying to beat the tariff punch, stocking up on essentials and non-essentials alike. This is Economics 101, says Dr. Emily Chen, a trade expert at the Peterson Institute. She explains that tariffs, which are essentially taxes on imported goods, have a direct impact on the prices of those goods. When tariffs are imposed, the cost of importing goods increases, and this cost is often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Dr. Chen emphasizes that this is a fundamental concept in economics, where any increase in costs can lead to a chain reaction affecting the entire market. Tariffs increase prices, and when prices go up, people panic. This panic is not just a fleeting emotion, it has real economic consequences. When consumers see prices rising, they often rush to buy goods before prices go up even further. This behavior, known as panic buying, can lead to shortages and further price increases. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy where the fear of rising prices actually causes prices to rise even more. It's basic supply and demand, but with a hefty dose of anxiety thrown in. When people start hoarding goods, it disrupts the normal supply chain. Stores run out of stock faster than usual, and suppliers struggle to keep up with the sudden surge in demand. This creates a ripple effect throughout the economy, affecting not just the availability of goods, but also their prices. The anxiety and uncertainty can lead to irrational behavior, making the situation even worse. It's like adding fuel to the fire, warns economist Professor Robert Scott. He points out that the initial price increases caused by tariffs are just the beginning. The real danger lies in the secondary effects, where panic buying and supply chain disruptions lead to even higher prices. Professor Scott uses the metaphor of a fire to describe the situation. The tariffs are the spark, and the panic buying is the fuel that makes the fire spread uncontrollably. This panic buying will only exacerbate inflation, creating a vicious cycle of rising prices and consumer fear. Inflation, which is the general increase in prices over time, can erode purchasing power and lead to economic instability. When people expect prices to keep rising, they are more likely to spend quickly rather than save, which can further drive up demand and prices. This cycle of inflation and fear can be difficult to break once it starts. The experts agree this isn't a sustainable situation. They stress the importance of addressing the root causes of the problem, such as the tariffs and the resulting panic buying. Solutions could include policy changes to reduce tariffs, measures to stabilize supply chains, and efforts to calm consumer fears. The consensus among the experts is clear. Without intervention, the cycle of rising prices and panic buying will continue, leading to further economic instability. A double-edged sword. The economic upside and downside of panic buying. On the surface, this buying frenzy might seem like a good thing. People are filling their carts to the brim, checkout lines are bustling, and stores are seeing a surge in sales. It's a scene of economic activity that appears vibrant and healthy. After all, increased consumer spending is the lifeblood of the economy. When people spend more, businesses thrive, jobs are created, and the wheels of commerce turn smoothly. The immediate influx of cash can be a boon for retailers, especially small businesses that rely on steady customer flow. But dig a little deeper and a bleaker picture emerges. The shelves that were once full are now empty, and the aisles that were bustling with activity are now eerily quiet. The initial rush of sales can lead to stock shortages, leaving stores unable to meet the ongoing demand. Sure, businesses are enjoying a temporary boom. The sudden spike in sales can provide a much-needed financial cushion, helping to cover expenses and even invest in future growth. Store owners might feel a sense of relief and optimism as their cash registers fill up. But this artificial demand is unsustainable. The frenzy of panic buying creates a false sense of security. Once the immediate need is met, consumer spending can drop off sharply, leaving businesses with excess inventory and reduced foot traffic. What goes up must come down. The initial surge in sales can be followed by a significant decline as consumers tighten their belts and reduce spending. This can lead to a slowdown in economic activity, affecting not just retailers but the broader economy as well. And when the buying spree inevitably ends, we could be facing a nasty economic hangover. Stores that once thrived on the surge of panic buying may find themselves struggling to attract customers. Clearance sales and discounts become the norm as businesses try to offload excess stock. Think recession, folks, not just a mild headache. The ripple effects of panic buying can extend far beyond the retail sector, potentially leading to broader economic challenges. Businesses may face financial strain, job losses could increase, and consumer confidence might take a hit. It's a stark reminder that while panic buying can provide a short-term boost, the long-term consequences can be far more damaging. Predicting the future of the trade war with China is like trying to predict the weather 6 months out, a fool's errand. But that doesn't stop the experts from trying. Some believe a deal is on the horizon, a beacon of hope in these uncertain times. Others predict a deepening of the conflict, with tariffs escalating further. One thing is clear: the stakes are high. This isn't just about economics, it's about global power and influence. So what's a savvy consumer to do in these turbulent times? The answer is simple. Breathe. Don't give in to the panic. Yes, prices are rising. Yes, the future is uncertain. But hoarding goods will only worsen the situation. Instead, be mindful. Make informed decisions. Focus on necessities, not luxuries. And remember, we've weathered storms like this before. We can do it again. But it requires a collective effort, a refusal to succumb to fear and uncertainty. This isn't just an American problem. The tremors of this panic buying are being felt worldwide. Remember how interconnected the global economy is. When America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. Countries that rely on American consumers are bracing for impact. Manufacturers are struggling to keep up with the demand. The global supply chain, already strained, is creaking under the pressure. This, my friends, is a global crisis in the making. The big question now is, can we avert disaster? Can we tame this panic-buying beast before it wreaks havoc on the global economy? The answer, frankly, is unclear. It requires leadership, cooperation, and a healthy dose of common sense. We need governments to act responsibly, businesses to prioritize long-term stability over short-term gains, and consumers to resist the urge to hoard. It's a tall order, but the alternative is far worse.